signs in school. The first one is just simply the college-bound students. In a sense, is good. It gets our kids understanding that the next step after high school is college, and is to further look to educate themselves by seeking higher learning. At the same time, we're also neglecting to post students that are not going to go to college. The students that are actually going to go to the trade schools or just simply going to the workforce. We don't have students. We don't have any displays of them in the hallway. Because at the end of the day, not everybody's going to go to college. College is not meant for everybody. We're going to have people that will pursue something else and they'll be successful in it. So why don't we use that wall also, rather than just displaying a college student, displays them also, giving it the recognition that, well, we understand that you did good in high school. Yes, college is not up for you. Maybe another time you'll go into it, but at the same time, you're doing something else with your life. You're going to the next step. You're being successful. You're being a contributor to society. Um, Another area I also see is like on the walls of schools, you'll see a lot of articles of display of athletes, success, the sports environment, but you never see names of kids on the wall that are doing good in class that has all A's. It's just simply you see athletes that are being represented by the walls. They're having articles. They congratulate them on sports events, but we never ever use as a okay. What about the classroom? What about how about the students that are doing very successful? Wouldn't that be another way to actually reinforce the idea that success in high school is very good? You have to be successful in the grades and so forth to move on to go to other fields of study. So I think rather than just simply posting college students, no, high school students as being successful in sports on the wall, we should also use that area to also represent and show students that are also being successful in class. I think that would be a big enforcement of saying, okay, a good trend that everybody else can follow. Um, the last area I also think there's that is it's kind of on the borderline of being nonverbal slash verbal is the rules that we post. In classroom, you'll see a lot of notes on teacher classroom that's saying no cell phones allowed. Yes, I understand the importance of not using the cell phone and kids paying attention, which I get because kids' attention is being drawn by everything else. By simply eradicating the cell phone, leaves you less one hassle. But at the end of the day, those kids will still use their cell phone without your knowledge. So why don't we just simply use the cell phones for different ways to actually reach out to them? One teacher in particular that I saw in class in the school was he was using the cell phone as a way to for the students to answer a multiple choice question. So the students download an app that simply can get the response and simply text the answer to a certain site and it will respond the answer and they also competing in the game against the classroom against the teammates, against students in the classroom, just simply on social studies and other stuff like that. And it's also used for math and different field studies. So I thought it was really, really, really interesting because at the end of the day, I thought cell phone was a hindrance to our learning process. But at the end of the day, that's one of the things those kids have in their hands 24/7. That's the way of thinking. That's the way of acting. That's what of socializing. So we should use that as a mode of a way to reach them. Um, in that retrospect, the teachers also state the rules: no cell phones. But you turn around and stand in front of kids and use the cell phone, stating that I am the leader of the classroom. Yes, I'm authority. Yes, we understand that area. But at the same time, if you said no classroom and you're trying to reach out to these students and teach them, won't you apply the same policy towards you? Because you send a message saying that since I'm authority in class and I'm the head of everybody else, I'm the boss in the classroom, I run this classroom, that the rules do not apply to me. It only applies to your stipulation because at the end of the day is I dictate what's going on. But at the same time, if you're gonna set those kind of policy, be willing to follow it also. I think that's a good nonverbal message to the students saying that okay, my teacher's not using the phone. I am not supposed to use the phone. Also, we're also on the same page, and we know understand that this time is going to be spent on learning and progressing to a higher education. Um, I think that's a good way to simply set that example for students and everybody. Um, which is I think is very important. And at the end of the day, it would deter a lot of kids from being looked down or picked on just simply because they're different. We all mentally, physically, no bullying at all, especially on social media. But at the end of the day, which is very important, yes, it's sending the message out correctly that the kids are not supposed to do that. But at the same time, we don't also display any posters. Um, Knowing that the exception of being different is also a part of our life. We're all different regardless of where we come from, what do we look like physically, how we act, mentally how we think. So those kind of messages I think is also good to display so that way the kids can understand it is acceptable to be different in school, acceptable to have somebody different. Nobody wants to be exactly the same as the next person. So I just think those messages that we post out there saying no bullying stuff should also display signs of people being different, being acceptable, showing people that's not the same as